Hello, everyone, and welcome. What is human nature? What is our intrinsic nature? What cannot be changed and is there without any mediation or effort is called our intrinsic nature. And what is that? Well, the first thing is that whatever is our nature or whatever we are must be constantly with us. The most important criteria. Secondly, we cannot be what we perceive or think because that is something separate from us. These two guidelines to our intrinsic nature are straightforward and unchallengeable. So, what is that experience that is constantly with us? I exist, or I am present, or I am. Not I am this body mind, which is a thought, but simply I am, which is not a thought but a constant knowledge. That is the only experience that stays with us all times, at all times, and in all states. That impersonal, pure I, the ultimate subject, Atma, that knows must be what we are. We cannot move away from what we are, not even for a nanosecond. Therefore, the things which arise and pass away or undergo change cannot be our essential characteristics. Our mind and body consist of thoughts, feelings, sensations, and perceptions which come and go. None of them stays constant in our direct experience. They disappear in between thoughts or in deep sleep. They are objects of our perception. The facts of being present and being aware are intuitively and directly obvious, even without any reflection. They are unrelated to thought. No one can say, I am not. Even to assert that you are not, you must be present to make that assertion. And no one can say that awareness is not present because the very assertion arises as an object in present awareness. The sense of being or the sense that we exist and the sense of knowing that we exist stays with us all the time and under all conditions. In other words, I am and I that I am is aware that I am. This knowledge of our own being as it is, its knowing of itself, is the most familiar, intimate, and obvious fact of experience and is known and shared by all of us. This present and aware I is sometimes referred to as awareness, which means the presence of that which is aware. It is a word in which the two fundamental qualities of ourself, being and knowing, are recognized as one. This sense of being present and aware must be the essence of what we are, being and knowing, Sat and Chit. Being and knowing are not two separate entities. We cannot be without knowing and we cannot know without being. So, they are two aspects of the same entity from two different angles. We are that with which we are aware of our experience, but which itself cannot be known as an object because we as awareness, we as Sat Chit, are the ultimate subject that illumines all the objects, all the experience. Dimensionless awareness could be likened to an open, empty, knowing space in which the objects of the mind, body, and world, or thoughts, sensations, and perceptions, appear, out of which the objects are made and with which the objects are known. And just as empty space, relatively speaking, cannot resist or be agitated by the appearance or activity of any object within it, so the open, empty, knowing space of awareness cannot resist or be disturbed by any appearances of the mind, body, or world, irrespective of their particular quality or condition. This inherent absence of resistance, in awareness is the experience of happiness. This unshakability is peace. This happiness and peace are not dependent upon the condition of the mind, body, or world, and are present in and as the essential nature of awareness under all conditions and in all circumstances. Thus, happiness and peace are loving, as well as being and knowing are essential to awareness, which is our true nature. Pure existence is Sat, or being, beyond time and space. Pure consciousness is Chit, or objectless knowing, or knowing without the status of a knower. In the light of pure existence and pure consciousness, no duality can appear. This non-duality is nothing but absolute peace or love. Peace, happiness, fullness is inherent in awareness. Ananda is inherent in Sat Chit. We are therefore Sat Chit Ananda, existence, consciousness, peace, being, knowing, loving. And this is exactly what the Tejobindu Upanishad proclaims. Atma, our true nature, is Sat Chit Ananda, or Satchitananda in one word. Now that we know that our true nature is Satchit Ananda, being, knowing, loving, or existence, consciousness, peace, how is truth the background of it? How can we prove that this is the truth? Well, let's explore. Existence absolute is the only thing that does not go out of existence. Non-existence is an illogical concept. Existence simply is. Energy is neither creator nor destroyed. Similarly, existence, reality, is neither creator nor destroyed. Reality is defined as the independent presence that is permanent. We can keep destroying matter. It will simply change its form from one type of object to another type of object. But the objectness or isness or existence cannot be destroyed. The only thing that is never negated is pure existence or isness. Everything else gets reduced to something or the other. This isness, absolute existence, thus lends existence to everything else, to the fleeting objects. Existence is incapable of being reduced or destroyed. Existence, then, must be the background of all phenomenal existence. Therefore, existence, Sat, is the truth itself, the absolute. Truth equals existence. Now, existence cannot be existence without consciousness. If existence is not known, it itself is not. As existence is absolute, it cannot, by definition, be known by something else. It must be self-knowing. Therefore, truth existence equals consciousness, chit. Consciousness knows itself and knows everything else, but cannot itself be known. Consciousness is self-aware and self-revealing. Consciousness is like a lamp. It lights up objects and at the same time lights up itself. Consciousness, knowing a second consciousness, is meaningless. If consciousness is infinity, which it is, you can know it in a subject-object relationship only if you are larger than infinity, which is ridiculous. So, truth, existence, consciousness is incapable of being known because it is knowing itself. Thus, consciousness, chit, is the background of all knowledge. Before we investigate Ananda or peace, let us analyze love. There are 5 natural emotions: grief or sadness, anger, envy, fear, and love. And within these also, there are 2 final levels: love and fear. There is nothing else from which to choose, just love and fear. This is the great polarity. In love, one expands, in fear, one shrinks. And in the end, there is really only one emotion: love. There is only one energy. Thus, there is only one energy in motion all the time: E plus motion. And that one emotion is called love. In truth, the experience of fear is the emotion of love distorted. A good example would be saving your child from an accident, crossing a road for the fear of his death, but at the same time risking your life to save him for the love of your child. If you did not love the child, would you be afraid that he might fall into danger? No, you would not care. You would not worry. Only love causes you to be afraid. Absent love, fear is not. Fear in its highest form becomes love. All feelings are expressions of love. All the so-called different forms are expressions of feeling, rise in love, exist in love, and vanish into love. So, love is the background of all feelings. We have proved that existence consciousness is the truth so far. Truth, which is existence consciousness, being objectless, is incapable of being felt, incapable of being loved. So, Ananda must be love itself. Just like existence consciousness is incapable of being known, it is knowing itself. Same way, same logic. Thus, Ananda, peace, fullness, completeness must be the background of all feelings or love. We can prove Ananda to be the absolute or the background of all feelings in another way. We know that there is no such thing as absolute non-existence because non-existence does not exist. Non-existence is nothing but the existence of the absence of existence. Likewise, there is no such thing as absolute unconsciousness because unconsciousness can be said to exist only if some consciousness other than it exists to know it. Existence consciousness, thus, cannot lead us to non-existence unconsciousness. For the moment non-existence unconsciousness is known, it becomes existence consciousness itself. Amazing, huh? just as both non-existence and unconsciousness are merely relative. So, unhappiness is also merely relative. Unhappiness is nothing but the existence of the absence of happiness. Since unhappiness is merely an absence or negation of happiness, and since a negation can only be relative, requiring something other than itself to negate, there can be no such thing as absolute unhappiness. A negative quality can only exist relative to its corresponding positive quality, which will make it dependent. We feel unhappy only because we desire to be happy. Only that which is positive and not that which is negative can be absolute, because that which is positive does not require anything other than itself, either to negate or to relate to in any other way. In deep sleep, unhappiness does not exist. Only happiness exists without a trace of unhappiness. Deep sleep state in itself is an absolute state. Therefore, happiness, peace, love must be absolute or beyond time and space, which is Ananda. Henceforth, truth is the background of Sat Chit Ananda, our true nature, Atma, which is being, knowing, loving, or existence, consciousness, peace. From the perspective of the macrocosm, Taittiriya Upanishad has defined the ultimate reality or Brahman as Satyam Jnanam Anantam, or Sat Chit Anantam, or existence, consciousness, infinity. Since ultimate reality equals truth, because there can only be one truth. So, since ultimate reality equals truth, Sat Chit Ananda, or existence, consciousness, peace, our true nature, Atma, is also Sat Chit Anantam, or existence, consciousness, infinity, or Brahman. Atma equals Brahman. Therefore, the essence or truth of all human beings or of microcosm, as well as the essence of the world or macrocosm, is one and the same. Existence, consciousness, Ananda / infinity. In other words, Ananda from the individual perspective mirrors infinity from the cosmic perspective. They are the same. This is what you are. This is the real you. Through the path of knowledge, Jnana Yoga, intellectually separate out the personality, mind, conditioning, world, relations, etc., that do not belong to the real you, to realize that you are that and were always free of this. Spiritual journey needs to be from self-identity to self-awareness and to pure awareness, or somebody to no body and to every body, or I am this to I am and to I or that. Be that knowingly. Thank you.